So hi again. I have been again busy with college. I think I missed a few days. I need to keep track of this better because I do enjoy making these videos. It's just as I have mentioned before, like it feels so daunting to just sit down with the mic and start speaking. But yeah, uh, I am kind of excited to make this video. I got a comment on my video, so I got motivated to make more of these. Yeah, honestly, I was kind of expecting like a bot subscriber, like one of those random, bots that just subscribe to random channels. But no, this is a real person. So yeah, I'm very pleasantly surprised. So yeah, again, I have a list on my PC to help me talk about things. So first thing, I got a match on one of the dating apps. So this is not the first time I have gotten a match ever. So I have gotten quite a few matches before, but this is after I took like a break, like a mental break or a actual physical break. So we had I had to go back to my hometown where dating is not really a thing, which sounds weird, but like, how do you explain this? So it's a very small town, right? It's not a very open-minded town, you can say. And dating does still exist, but it doesn't exist in the sense that, like, it's very high school dating, right? So if you were ever at high school, I mean, it even depends country to country, right? So in like, from what I see, at least in media, it seems like in countries like USA or UK, dating is like a very common thing even in high schools. But here in my country, India, uh, like it's very polarizing in different states and cities, right? So in my state, like, you can have girlfriends and boyfriends in school, but they don't really mean much. Like, that's just, I mean, ironically, it's literally just a girlfriend you have, and the ability to say that, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend. But there isn't much other than that, like, the things that people do when they date, that doesn't really happen here. So yeah, and it doesn't end at high school. It carries over. Obviously, at some point you'll be start doing more adult things, but like, it doesn't feel like dating. It feels more like a weird deal that two people just came to an agreement to. It's difficult to explain, but once you see it, you will understand it better, I think. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why and obviously dating apps are just not a thing. Like, uh, I am interested in women, so I'll put that in my dating app, right? And I'll still get like 7 men in a row. I don't get it. How does this even happen? Like, do people who make these accounts in my hometown don't pay attention to the fact that they are making a dating app? I mean, I'm sure because they have to pick men to get my profile, and also they have to pick themselves as being women. That's I am just assuming that they don't read it properly or something, because otherwise how else does that happen? I don't get it. But yeah, so I'll get 7 men in a row, then 2 women, and then the whole list of profile just ends. It will just say there are no more people around you, and I'll have to switch to like the entire country to find anyone else. So I hope that explains why I don't really use dating apps, or I don't really date in my hometown. Also, I used to be like very dorky. I mean, I'm still am pretty much, but used to be even more dorkier when I was in school. So yeah, I in my mind, dating scene for me in my hometown has just ended completely. But anyways, the point was that dating is not a thing in my hometown. So whenever I go there, I went there for 2 months this time, because our break was like 2 months, and it was break from dating as well. So when I came back, I was like kind of ready to make a new profile and make new photos and stuff. And this is the first match I have gotten since then. So yeah, we talked for like 2 messages and she hasn't replied yet. So I'm assuming that I've been ghosted, which is fine. It happens in dating apps. I think people overreact to people ghosting a lot, because I do think that it's kind of a natural reaction, especially for like young people, because they feel nervous or whatever. I don't mind it. obviously it kind of feels like, I feel bummed out, but it's not that much. So I have experienced this before and it's completely fine. But I do hope that this is one of the many matches that I would get eventually, hopefully. Not very hopeful, but yeah, let's see. The way I approach dating apps is kind of do a lot of scrolling, I guess. Like basically set a time in the day and like finish whatever like pool of likes you have. So if you don't know, whenever you use a dating app, you have like a certain amount of likes and or dislikes that you can do per day. And I think the best way to do is it like sit down, do it once, and then just forget about it for the whole day. Because then I can feel less stressed about stuff like this. Because then I can focus my mind on other stuff. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about is, as you might already know, I'm interested in video games, and I went out to play like a few board games this year with some of my seniors, and we talked about it, and so they knew that I'm interested in video games. Apparently, one of the ex-professors from our branch contacted him asking for a video game specialist, and I got in contact. First of all, this is the first time I have been asked anything video game related by a professional, so I'm very happy. He's a very old professor, like both in terms of how long he had been working in our branch and how old he is. Yeah, so he asked me about like games with combat, and when I talked to him, it was specifically about games where two people combat each other, so basically multiplayer games. And he started by talking about PUBG, which was kind of expected, honestly. I mean, PUBG isn't a bad game by itself, but the community perception has made the community itself kind of one-dimensional. So yeah, not exactly what I would consider a good game, unfortunately. But yeah, so it was a very weird experience. So I have talked about video games to myself, basically like giving a speech. I'm pretty sure everyone does this, where you would like hold a TED talk in your head, talking about like different topics or whatever. And I did this. I have done this for video games like for years, but like being able to. Sorry for any background noise if there is any, by the way, but being able to do that in front of someone who is actually listening, because usually even if I talk about these things, it's to my friends who don't really care. Like they really do try to be interested, but it's fine. Like I can tell that they are not interested, and it's fine, right? But someone who actually is interested in it, because they are writing a book about, the professor is writing a book about video games, basically some philosophical, not video games, just games in general and what makes them games. And they wanted to know about combat, and they were genuinely interested in this topic. Obviously, that's why they reached out to me, and it was such a weird experience. It felt like I am getting to live a dream fantasy of mine. So I would talk to them about whatever the questions they had. I introduced them to Valorant, CSGO, and Tekken and other fighting games. And they have asked me after our talk was finished, and they took notes and stuff, which was also bizarre. Like someone taking notes about video games. They asked me if I could like send them a few videos or some books written on video games. I was like, books I'm not very sure, but videos I can surely send some. And yeah, then they said, can I give them a demo, like a live demo of me playing these games? So I said, yeah, sure. And they have asked me to meet this Saturday. So yeah, a few days later, day after tomorrow actually. So yeah, very excited, honestly, to show someone how a game is played. I have like all the script is already in my mind. I have always thought about this stuff, so this is just a no-brainer. But yeah, very very fun feeling. And I also talked to them about board games and games that they specialize at, so I also got to know some interesting like learning from them, because they are obviously professors, so they would know more than me about certain specific areas. I still do believe that I would out knowledge most people, at least in my country, about video game knowledge. But yeah, obviously can't acknowledge them in their own field without that much experience. So yeah, this was a very nice thing. Me and my friends have been making plans to go out and roam in the city more. So it has been 1.5 years. So I'll explain to you how my college works, right? So we have 4 years of college total. Out of those 4 years, obviously you would assume that 4 years I would spend in campus, but for the first year, COVID happened. Obviously, that was a massive bummer, and yeah, we couldn't we weren't in campus, and our entire batch was like very sad about it. Obviously, I mean, this is the first time you're getting to going to college, and as I have previously mentioned, this is one of the best colleges in India. Now that I'm in the college, it doesn't really feel that good, but obviously uh, there's a saying in Hindi which is घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर, which means the chicken in your house is equal to dal, which is basically soup. So yeah, when you have something, you don't really appreciate it that much. So yeah, obviously I still do recognize that this is one of the best colleges. Like, I am very lucky to have be in this college, but missing the first year was devastating for all of us. So when we did reach here, we were all very excited and happy. But in the 1.5 year I think I have been here, I haven't traveled this city at all. Like, I mean, very little, like very minimally. And me and my friends were discussing that we should roam out more. We should make sure that we make full use of the fact that we are here. So yeah, we are planning to go out like in a few different places. Let's hope that we are able to. Right now the plans are on hold because the weather is just so bad. Like, this is a topic I was going to talk about later, but the weather is just so bad. It's raining all the time. Monsoon in India, specifically the the city I'm living in, because I'm in a coastal area, horrendous, like just terrible. The insane amounts of humidity is unbearable. Right now I'm recording without the fan running because I want like clear audio, but it's so humid right now. I can feel the humidity like touching on my skin. It's so weird. It's so gross. I'm sorry if you're grossed out, but like everything is just humid. Like, if you don't have fan turned on like literally 24 hours of the day, you will like immediately you turn off the fan and you can feel the humidity just rushing in. Like, that's bizarre. And yeah, obviously washing clothes is a nightmare because you wash clothes and they just never dry. So we are kind of waiting for summer to go out, and then like make take good photos of ourselves also for dating profiles, and just roam around, have some fun, maybe meet new people. Yeah. um yeah. What else? Oh, learning new skills. So I have mentioned that I wanted to I mean, in the development of video games I kind of need to learn a lot of skills. One of them includes music, and I actually wanted to kind of include wanted to learn like a few musical instruments, but I never got my hands on one for a long period of time. The only one I have ever used for a prolonged period of time is my younger sister's harmonica. Not harmonica, harmonium. It's like a small piano which is played with two hands. I'm not sure if people are familiar with harmonium. I hope it makes sense. Like, it's basically like a very giant. I mean, there is one part that blows air in it, and the other part is I'm stuttering so much. One part just blows air in it, and the other hand is used to play the piano basically. It's a classical instrument, and I have used it a bit, and I have some grasp. Obviously, I have a good grasp on music theory. Not good for a musician, but good for a layman. So I have a good grasp on music theory as a person who doesn't play or uh, learn music. But yeah, I tried, and it's kind of difficult. especially with the low resources I had at that time. I might go back to learn guitar, but yeah, let's see. With the online sequencer, it just feels less. I mean, I feel less inspired to go and learn music instruments, but I should, because playing music is also fun. And I've also been wanting to like sing a lot. I don't find my voice comforting at all. So if anyone does, that's surprising to me. I'm glad that I can help you, but I don't find my voice calming or soothing or anything. So yeah, I would say that I need to work a lot on my singing. Especially, I mean, singing is a skill, so you can get better at it with practice. The question is, how do you get better at it? And I know some method, some theory on it, but and I sing sometimes, like, just for the feelings, I guess, because it does feel very nice, especially singing those like screamy kind of songs where you scream a lot. One of the songs that I've been singing recently was Shake It For Me. I think it is from someone called Luke, and Shake It For Me Girl, and Hosier's Take Me to Church. These are the two songs that I've been singing a lot, and both of them have like a very high pitched kind of, not high pitched, but like very high volume feeling to them. I have been actually singing along with Anna Pantsu's version. She's a YouTube YouTuber who makes covers of these songs, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. As I said, I actually uh, should be doing something else right now, but I took some time off and thought of making this video. As I said, I kind of got inspired by the comment. Thanks for that. Yeah, I also hope that more people do listen to these, because it does feel nice to connect to more people. Being able to help is obviously one of my life goals, like being able to help people all the time. So this is nice, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. uh, Thank you, have a great day.